9 o'clock, and I'm going to call this meeting to order. Can we have a roll call, please?
Chaplin. Here. Desart. Here. Hart.
Here.
Ozark.
Here.
Tornatori. Zay.
Here.
Okay, do we have any public comment today?
No.
All right. And next, I'd like to move to approve the minutes of February 1st, 2022.
Oh, second.
Okay. And any comments, questions, changes? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Next, payment of claims for public works and facilities management. I'm going to move to accept this for the record.
Second.
Okay. Any comments, changes? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next, I'd like to move for approval of FMP 007022, recommendation for the approval of an agreement between the County of DuPage and CDM Smith to provide professional engineering design services for campus energy, electric vehicle charging station, and waste diversion studies for facilities management for the period February 22nd, 2022 through November 30th, 2023 for a total contract amount not to exceed $98,500. Professional services vetted through qualification-based selection process. Second, any comments or changes? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Not opposed? All right, motion passes. I next move for approval of FMP 007122, recommendation for the approval of an agreement between the County of DuPage and V3 Company Limited to provide professional engineering services for various campus projects. Excuse me, for facilities management for the period February 22nd, 2022 through November 30th, 2024 for a total contract amount not to exceed $99,390, vetted through a qualification-based selection process. Second, any comments or questions? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, next we'll move on to action items. Allergies, believe it or not. Okay, I move for approval of FMP 007222, recommendation for the approval of a contract to Red Wing Brands of America to furnish safety shoes and work boots as needed for facilities management, public works, stormwater, and the care center for a period February 23, 2022 through February 22nd, 2023 for a total contract amount not to exceed $30,000. And we have facilities management, 10,000, public works, 13, stormwater, 4,500, the care center, 2,500 per most qualified offer on proposal. And we have another second. And do we have any comments or changes? And just as a point of information, Nick tells me that employees have a $200.
It's a $200.
$200 allocation. After that, it's on their own. So, but thank you. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Next, we have a request for travel, authorization for overnight travel, authorization requested to have 3 public works staff members attend the Watercon 2022 conference on March 22nd and 23rd, 2022 in Springfield, Illinois. Watercon conference brings together water utility industry suppliers, consultants, manufacturers, and regulators to share information through exhibits, education, and networking. The education sessions will provide staff with new ideas and tools to implement in water supply and treatment. We'll also provide staff with 21 education hours toward their water certifications. And we have a second from Member Chaplin. Any comments to this? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. And next I move to accept as information FIP 006822, recommendation for the approval of a contract to Sheffield Safety and Loss Control LLC for professional safety program management services for the period March 1st, 2022 through March 31st, 2023 for a total contract amount not to exceed $100,000 per RFP. Public Works portion $25,000, stormwater portion $25,000, Division of Transportation portion $25,000, and facilities management portion $25,000. I have a second, and all in favor of accepting this as information?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Next, we have discussion issues. We're going to start with strategic initiatives for facilities management.
Good morning. You have one sheet somewhere in your packet. If you recall, the strategic initiatives were developed in the 2017-ish. So some of ours have completed to their entirety. We have 2 that are remaining that are on the list. The first one have to deal with the needs of the judiciary. Those are constantly being addressed. with respect to traffic court. Since this happened, 2 traffic court branch courses closed. We reopened the one in the county board reopened the one in Glendale Heights. Obviously, we're continuing with the rest of if the needs of the judiciary continue to expand with COVID, some of the restrictions we've had in the past. So that one's kind of ongoing. The other one we had in your packet was for our capital needs. Facilities had a large pent-up need for capital demands. We have been grateful with the money that the county board has given us both for the CARES Act and for ARPA. The lion's share of the pent-up need for capital have been addressed with those. We still have a few others that we'll be addressing through our regular capital program. So that was what I had on for facilities.
Okay. Any comments or questions for Tim? Member Desart.
Thank you. Yes, 2 thoughts. One is about the parking decks and the roofing. I know that we approved pretty large expenditure for some of the roofs on some of the buildings on campus, but not all of them. Is that an ongoing project? Is there more for next year?
We're in good shape. In the last 8 years, we've really caught up on our roofs and actually our tuck pointing with the 2. We're in good shape. We're in a very comfortable spot there. With respect to the roofs, the traditional capital allocations, I anticipate we'll be able to handle our needs there for a long time.
Okay, great. Thank you. And the parking decks, this is it, right?
The parking deck is probably the largest outstanding issue we have. The county board approved some, we're doing an additional study on that to get a better 10-year evaluation program on that one.
Thank you. So the second thing that I wanted to bring up was this, the courthouse at the court at Glendale Heights Village Hall. I thought this was a couple of years ago now, but I thought we agreed to move all of our court efforts into the courthouse here on campus.
We did have a program to that effect.
Yeah.
And then with some of the expansions of social distancing for COVID, in addition to that, the backlog, because they were not hearing all those cases. There will be future discussions on whether the courtroom that's the fourth courtroom on the first floor in the building, if that someday can go back. I'm sorry, it was designed and someday that may be able to handle traffic court.
Okay.
The judiciary it's not their desire to look at that in the short term, meaning over the next year.
So we could keep this Glendale Heights Village Hall court until
correct.
judiciary tells us.
And those are actually typically those come to a head or they're better addressed when the lease expires. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Tim. Appreciate it. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Tim, do you know offhand how long the lease
I
is?
knew you'd ask that. I'm sorry, I didn't bring it with me. No, I'll have it for next meeting.
Sounds good.
And I
Okay.
also had a little question mark about how much it costs us to have that remote site too. So if you could.
Yeah, I'm going
You
from
don't know that
memories,
it's
and
happening.
I'll give you that exact number. They're traditionally about $72,000 a year was the cost.
75,000.
Okay, and the heavy lift on these is the parking requirement for the space.
Okay.
Traditionally, you would have for a 2,000 square foot utilization, you would have 10 to 15 spots. We need as many as 140, 150, depending on case loads. And, these are for their higher events. That's not a typical day, but the morning sessions tend to be heavier and you have this massive inflow of cars. So that's where the municipal buildings work out very, very well for us.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions about this? Now we'll move on to strategic initiatives of Public Works.
And for Public Works, we have 3 initiatives. Give you an update. We continue to work on the master plan that was developed back in 2018. Have an update on a few of the projects that are in that plan. The first one is the Nordic Wastewater Treatment Facility. We began that earlier last year. We're out of the ground now and actually starting to build structures out there. So we anticipate that'll be fully functional by the end of 2022. So tough little project that's going really well. Project number 2 is the electrical infrastructure at both of our major wastewater treatment plants in Norwood and Woodridge. We opened those bids, got some pretty good numbers. We're waiting on funding from the state for that. There's potential for some grant money for that project as well, but we anticipate that starting in early summer. So that's another nice project. It'll give us redundancy at the facilities, backup power, our main switch gears are in place. Project number 3 is phase 1 improvements at wastewater treatment plant in Woodridge. That's all of our headworks. It's high efficiency blowers, help reduce our electrical costs there. That's a really big project for us. That'll kind of lay the land for the next probably 20 years in that plant as far as being permit. So we're in design phase for that now. You guys recently awarded the program the contract to start design on that. Initiative number 2, we're trying to get IGAs set up and leverage some of the existing IGAs with some of the surrounding municipalities. Some of the milestones we did last year, we have an agreement with Waste Management and the Forest Preserve to accept leachate from the Forest Preserve's landfill there. Waste Management still manages that. We're going to treat the leachate at Woodridge at the wastewater treatment plant. They're going through permitting now. They're going to directional bore that line in the spring. So we'll be accepting leachate probably by midsummer. The other one on that is we're actually doing a lot of work for Wheaton Sanitary District. We've been there late last fall. We were televising lines. So our crews, because we have the ability to do that work, we have the equipment to do that work. We can get it done cheaper for people like Wheaton Sanitary District. We've done some work for Flag Creek. So that's kind of a win-win for both organizations. And then initiative number 3, that's a water meter project that we've been working on for about 2.5 years. We're trying to bring in automatic meter reading to all of our water systems. We partnered with Woodridge, Lyle, and Darien on that project. Darien and the county are going to move forward with that. We're under contract with Census. We'll start rolling that out within the next month or 2. Lyle is anticipated to jump on in summer. So we'll be able to read all of our meters. It'll help with water conservation and all that stuff. And it'll be just better customer service all around. We'll get that system up and running. And that's it. Any questions?
And you can make calls like the one I got from the Village of Glen Ellen last year about my broken toilet. So
Yeah. They can flag that.
before hundreds of dollars turns into thousands of
In the middle of the night, we'll be
dollars.
able to run a situation on our entire system and for like a 1-minute period from like 3 in the morning to 3:01 to figure out the usage and alert our customers.
Well appreciated. Okay, anything else? Thank you both so much. Any old business today? Any new business? You hearing none? I'm gonna move to adjourn. Thank you, everybody.